Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene made waves over the holiday weekend with this tweet calling for a national divorce. After facing backlash from Democrats and some Republicans, Greene followed up with a detailed thread explaining why she thinks this is a good idea. Greene is saying that a national divorce would empower individual states to form a smaller government, reduce the federal debt, set their own environmental standards, and the Congresswoman has another idea as well, banning people who move from blue states to red states from voting for 5 years so they don't bring their bad politics with them. I actually favor that idea.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And you know, over the years, Fox has gone to some pretty pathetic lows. They have hosted some of the most despicable people on the planet and have fed the disinformation epidemic in this country. But this may be a new level of awful, even for them. Sean Hannity decided to give none other than Marge the Trainwreck Greene a platform to sell her national divorce crap on cable television.
In my life, in my world, all of my friends are regular Americans. Everyone I talk to is sick and tired and fed up of being bullied by the left, abused by the left, and disrespected by the left. And our ideas, our policies, our ways of life have become so far apart that it's just coming to that point. And the last thing I ever want to see in America is a civil war. No one wants that. At least everyone I know would never want that. But it's going that direction, and we have to do something about it.
And he starts off by trying really hard to eat up all of her segment because we all know that she is bound to say something incredibly stupid given the chance or the time in front of the camera. He tries to make a clear path for her to say something that both makes the base happy but doesn't go too far and implicates Fox in another lawsuit. But here she comes, loud Marge with her never-ending fringe talking points and QAnon memos.
We're also a nation, a crumbling nation. We're a nation in distress. Our government is in complete failure. Over $34 trillion. We are on the verge of default, and we have to do something about that. But that was the right and the left that did that to the American people on their own. But the Democrats never stop pushing their policies, their ideas, and their culture on Republicans and the right. And we are so sick and tired of it. We are tired of our children being taught ideas and ideologies in school that we do not want our children taught, like gender lies. We do not want our children having their gender changed or transitioned. We can't even have women's sports and privacy in our bathrooms, and women in prison can't even have spaces.
Of course, not only can she not steer away from the national divorce scenario, but she has to throw in her thoughts about how she can see a civil war breaking out. I would guess that she hasn't read a lot of history in her time, and she probably doesn't know or care to know the implications of just hinting at that kind of thing. Marjorie just falls right into the culture war issues that feed her monologues, but don't do anything to make sure her constituents have a steady paycheck or if their roads are fixed. The lies never stop, and she is part of the division that she insists is the fault of Democrats and the left.
If you're a white male today in the financial industry, you can forget it. You're a dinosaur. You're going extinct. No one should ever be hired by their skin color or their gender or
Marjorie,
how they
let me
identify.
ask you this.
It should only be about your character and your ability to do the job.
No one is forcing your kids to transition or change their identity. No one is telling your white kids that they should be ashamed of the mistakes their ancestors made, and they should burden that guilt. Nobody's saying that. But most importantly, no one is making you listen to this crap or believe it except people like Marge the Trainwreck Greene and Sean Hannity. Those people would fare just fine if a split of this nation. They are rich. They just buy another house or run to Cancun like Ted Cruz. They won't be the ones that suffer the consequences of this type of rhetoric. And by the way, she believes that we don't get to pick who represents us, except it is her party that made district lines and gerrymandering so much a part of our country that they are the main culprit in people not getting their voices heard, not hot-button talking points like these. Marge the Trainwreck Greene just continues to slide back down into that rabbit hole of crazy, and not a single Republican has the guts to call her out and get her as far away from power as humanly possible. They are letting their party become a joke, and they can take that with them all the way out the door when they lose their seats. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.